going on, dudes and dudettes? Last night, went to go see Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in theaters. And like the first time I saw that in like 20 plus years. Pretty crazy. It's pretty awesome. Sucks that they're not showing those cinema classics like the whole series. Would like to see all those again. Didn't really get to see much of like past four. I think honestly the only thing I saw the first two in theaters, and that was it. Everything else I saw at home. But yeah, very fun to see that again. Obviously, a lot of it holds up, a lot of it doesn't, but it was great to hear John Williams' score once again in the theater. It's just always amazing, that score. I don't think that movie is the same without John Williams' music, like most of the movies he does music for. Get into sports, what you're here for. So yes, the Lakers made a trade last night for the Jazz's recently traded player Patrick Beverley. In order to get him, they are trading Talen Horton-Tucker. You already know he's one of my favorites. And then also, sadly, they're trading Stanley Johnson because they had to make the money work out a little bit, and I think he has about a $2 million deal. Sadly, it's not going to be like a Wenman, Gabriel, or anyone else added in there instead of Johnson, because Lakers need a little bit more of the 3-and-D guys, a little bit taller and longer guys, but we'll see what Gabriel can do if he is still on a team after some of these trades that might be soon be happening for the Lakers. But like I've said, I've always thought and liked the idea of Patrick Beverley on the Lakers team. I know he talked about it a couple months ago that he thinks he'd be a great fit with them. Obviously, I've always said he's a player you love to have on your team, but would hate to play against him because he's just a pest and always really great and gritty on the defensive side and gives you some life support right there on the offensive side as well. Can sometimes hit a corner three for you also. So in the end, I still think this is a better deal than Talen Horton-Tucker being on the team, because he kind of just comes in and gives you some points, not really a whole bunch as everybody says he can do, and doesn't play defense. So I think in the end, Lakers are getting the better player in this situation, even though the Jazz probably think they are because they didn't even ask for any picks at all swapped in this trade, which I think is great for the Lakers to have some more trades flexibility in the future. We'll see about that, because I know Buddy Hield and Miles Turner from the Pacers traded for Russell Westbrook might be going down sooner than we thought. You just never know, but I have to report on that when it does happen. Then yes, of course, been going good so far. Barely any injuries for the Chargers. And then, obviously, one of their top free agents that they signed, considered the best corner in the NFL the past couple years with the amount of interceptions he's had, J.C. Jackson, who came over from New England. Apparently, I think it was in his foot. I could be wrong. But he ended up having surgery up in New York to take out or clean up whatever it is. It's nothing too insanely serious coming from head coach Brandon Staley, which was I'm okay with, because he's going to give you the truth and not lie about it like some players would do, or other people on the team, like maybe the GM. But I believe it's only going to be 2 to 4 weeks, which is nice, but it's only two to 4 weeks because it depends how quickly the wound heals. So if it heals up quickly, then he could be back in 2 weeks and right at the start of the season, or he could miss those first two division opponent games, and I believe the Raiders and Kansas City Chiefs, which are going to be pretty big games right off the bat for the Chargers to at least get one of those games. But overall, yeah, it's going to be tough going, but they do believe in a lot of their backup guys and other guys that are on the team at that position to be able to step up if he is going to miss some time. So overall, hopefully he just takes his time and comes back healthier and better than what he was. That's all we can hope for. Then Jordan Addison, the transferred wide receiver to USC, signed a pretty big deal, one of the bigger deals that these USC players have gotten. And he's partnering up with United Airlines, which is pretty crazy. So I'm sure he's going to be on all their promotional stuff like that. Don't know if he's going to get a commercial or not, but it's really cool. It's obvious that when you come to USC, you're going to get bigger things like Beats by Dre, like Caleb Williams has, or, you know, with United like this for Jordan Addison. But I know some other guys are doing like what seems like infomercials for other weird products and stuff. And yeah, I'll get into another big company that's doing things with a lot of offensive linemen. But yeah, overall, if you come to USC, you're going to get the big bucks when it comes to NIL deals, in my opinion. So definitely a good look for USC, and congrats to Jordan Addison. Then speaking of more NIL deals, the incoming Duke player, not this season, but the following season, from Corona Centennial, Jared McCain, has signed multiple NIL deals, which I was surprised to hear, but he recently signed with a new one called Lemon Perfect, which is like a hydrating type of thing. I forget if it's something you add to your drink or if it's the drink itself. But overall, once again, this is already a talented dude, and he's already getting multiple NIL deals even before he gets to Duke. So once again, a lot of my guys are cashing in at my school, so hopefully it continues for them so they can be happy and play well for the school. Then sadly, ex-USC lineman Tyron Smith, who, yes, it's sad that he plays for the Cowboys as well, but he recently suffered a major injury, so he's going to be out indefinitely. They haven't ruled him out fully out for the whole season, but maybe he can return late in the year and into the playoffs, kind of what they're hoping for. Never know with these type of injuries, but yes, it does suck to see a fellow Trojan down. Then, speaking of a Trojan, an incoming Trojan, next year, Malachi Nelson, who made some waves going into that, I forget if it was official or unofficial visit to Texas A&M a couple of weeks ago, but he recently said on a podcast that he is 100% committed to USC and is looking to build the team and get other recruits there and looking to win some more games. So as of right now, he says he's locked in to USC, so that's some good news as of late, because I hadn't really heard much of anything from him as far as his commitment to USC. But like I said, nothing's ever set in stone with these guys unless they sign in early December, and then you kind of have them on your team right away. This is what I hope will happen with him. And yes, Jordan Addison again and Andrew Voorhees, the offensive lineman for USC, were both named Associated Press. Alternative Press is a rock magazine. But yes, Associated Press's preseason All-American team, which obviously means you're the top player at that position throughout the whole country. So yes, one of the top wide receivers and one of the top offensive linemen in the country that USC already has on their team, and hoping to add a couple more guys there as well. But yes, it's a great start for USC. Sorry about the little glitch right there, but I had to pause because a dog was barking outside, not my dog. But yes, if you're a dog owner and you don't know how to control your dog, or if you don't really want one anyways, you shouldn't deserve one and shouldn't be in your possession. So there it goes again, but I'm trying to power through this, and hopefully it doesn't bother you guys that much. So yes, when it comes to more Chargers players coming in on the top 100 list, Austin Eckler was the more recent one at number 46. That's pretty cool that he was able to make the list, top 50 at least. He's one of the better running backs out there, especially fantasy football wise. Then Derwin James, the recently signed safety, came in at number 43. I thought he might be a little bit higher, but he still hasn't played consecutive full seasons, so I can understand why they didn't have him, top 20 or something like that, but he could play himself in there, in my opinion. Then Justin Herbert, their star young quarterback, was ranked number 40, which is pretty good, but they talk about him so much that I thought he might end up being higher than what he is right now, but we'll see what can happen after this year. Hopefully it's a healthy year. Then Keenan Allen, his top wide receiver, came in before him at number 35, which is good because at least he's still getting the recognition around the league, especially because he had another great year, even though it wasn't his best year overall staying healthy, but he still had great numbers. And then Joey Bosa was number 30 overall. I believe he's one of the highest Chargers players on this list, which is kind of surprising because I did see a stat on Twitter that over the last 2 years he has the highest rated pass rushing grade out of like the top 5 guys in the league. So I kind of thought he might be a little bit higher, but I know a guy on there, TJ Watt, is most likely higher than him on this top 100 list. Don't know why. Maybe it's just because of sack stats, but other type of categories Bosa leads as well. So kind of surprised he's not in there. And speaking of those other NIL deals that I mentioned, yes, Hooters has decided to sign, I believe it was 51 or so college football players to NIL deals. Don't know the exact amount of how much money they're getting, but they are all offensive linemen from different schools. So they chose about like 6 or 7 schools, I believe. I could be wrong, but yeah, multiple players from the offensive line at those schools, and they're getting deals. Don't know exactly promotion-wise what they're going to be doing, but I'm sure those guys are happy and they'll be able to eat all the food they want there. Get a lot of eye candy as well as they're getting those deals done. And then, yes, the Chargers did cut their roster to 80 players overall, letting go of some guys getting traded secretly as well, are being claimed. But the only more notable guy was a defensive back, Tavon Campbell, who played a lot for them last year, and I kind of thought he was going to be in the rotation this year, but looks like a lot of the younger guys have been stepping up, so they've passed this process so far, so good luck to him. See where he goes. And then, yes, 24/7 Sports put out a prediction for the New Year's Eve 6 bowl games, which obviously is some of the top bowl games out there, Rose Bowl, Cotton Bowl, all that other stuff, and it's also included with like the college football playoff. But sadly, USC does have to play in the Cotton Bowl again, like they did a few years back against Ohio State, but they will face an even easier team, I believe, in the University of Houston, so I think that should be a victory for them, but it's also a big step victory-wise for the program to be able to get in one of those 6 games as well. Sadly, it's not the Rose Bowl, which I believe it said Utah was playing Michigan in that bracket, but overall it's still a good, positive overall season because you're one of the top 2 teams in your conference and you got to play one of the bigger games of the year. So looking forward to what USC can do. We're about a little over a week from next Saturday, so it's pretty crazy. Yeah, definitely getting hyped. And then ESPN did their top 100 of 2022 college football players, and of course there was 5 USC players on there, starting off with number 9, Jordan Addison, the wide receiver. It's always cool to have him on there. At number 10, it was Caleb Williams, the transfer quarterback. Number 56, the transfer running back Travis Dye from Oregon. Number 81, Andrew Voorhees, the offensive lineman. And number 100, the transfer wide receiver Mario Williams from Oklahoma. So yes, 4 of the 5 players are transferred players, but they have committed to USC, so they are part of the USC family, so they are Trojans, and they are on the top 100. So there you go. And then, yes, PFF did a playoff prediction, like a top 4 or 5 team, something like that, at the end of the season. And surprisingly, they're one of the few predicting people, whoever this guy was, to have USC at number 3, which obviously means they beat Utah a couple times and definitely maybe Oregon in the Pac-12 championship, and they got to the college football playoff as one of the top 3 teams, which is pretty crazy. I still don't know if it would truly happen because a lot has to go down. They have a lot of interesting, intriguing matchups, even in their own conference, to get by, if they can get by. So this is definitely a positive note, but not really putting too much stock into this prediction. And then, yes, just the other day, actually, one day right after my birthday on Tuesday, my birthday was, when was my birthday? Yeah, my birthday was Monday. And then right after that, Tuesday, it was Kobe Bryant's birthday, 8/23, which is awesome. But, of course, sadly, we have to look at all these pictures and reminisce. And it's always great to reminisce, but yes, it just sucks. You're always reminded of how great he was when you watch the highlights and stuff, and then all the younger pictures of him, and then once they start throwing pictures in with his family, and then see Gigi there as well, it's always a lot tougher. But overall, it's a good thing to reminisce, like I said. And then it's also pretty cool that the day after, August 24th, was named Kobe Bryant Day in Los Angeles. So, of course, people were still able to celebrate him even the next day, which is a lot of cool pictures and stuff I saw on Twitter and throughout all these other posts I saw that I'm putting up here on the screen. So, yeah, overall, it was a great positive thing. Definitely very happy about that. I think even his wife got a settlement from whatever thing she was suing, like a $60 million settlement because of those pictures that I believe a firefighter took of the crash sites. But I think I heard that one of that firefighter said he was supposed to, or he was told to take pictures, which I don't know if it's true or not, especially on his own phone. But overall, she did win the settlement, which is nice for her, nice $60 million. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, overall, great to think about Kobe. He will be sorely missed, so will his daughter and everyone else that lost their lives on that day, which always sucks. But yeah, overall, very good birthday weekend that I did have. I hope you guys saw that last video I put up. It's pretty fun. Had a couple more pictures, but I might add that somewhere else. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Fight on.